Hello besties, welcome back to my channel, which may or may not be turning into a booktube channel. As we always do, I'm kind of just gonna have to see where the wind takes me on this one, but in today's video, we will be speed dating I will be speed dating my TBR based on the first sentence of each book. This was inspired by a booktuber that I watch named Jaime Fok, and let's get into it. Start off with The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed. Okay. So the book starts out with like all these facts about the city that they live in. I'm not going to count those as the first sentence. Why am I so close to the camera? The U-Haul truck opens its sliding door for the first time since Adeline, Kentucky, unleashing the stale air from the small southern town that used to be Grace Salter's home, back when her mother was still a dutiful Baptist church leader, parentheses, though not technically a pastor, because as a woman in a church belonging to the Southern Baptist Convention, she could not technically claim the official title, nor its significantly higher pay grade, even with her PhD in ministry and more than a decade of service. So what I think about this first sentence is that it's a very long first sentence. It takes up almost the entire page, if we don't include the facts about Prescott, Oregon. Next we have True Life in Uncanny Valley by Deb Coletti. So I'm sitting in Mom's old Ford Taurus, staring right inside his house. Okay, I'm interested. You know, who is he? Why are we staring into his house? Can skip this one because I've already started it. Next up is A Pretty Implausible Premise by Karen Rivers. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It starts out in a script style. I don't know if the whole book is going to be written this way. Okay. So this is a unedited transcript, apparently. And Brady says, "Hey, thanks for agreeing to do this." This is an interview of Isabella G. Hatfield, who apparently goes by Hattie, and then Brady R. Finch is the one who is giving the interview about lexical gustatory synesthesia. Oh, so would that be like eating things and experiencing synesthesia based on that? Yeah, I've got questions. Next up, we have Kill the Lax Bro by Charlotte Lily Balog. I am sorry in advance if I mispronounce any of these names. Okay, so we technically start with a glossary of slang, which is presumably lacrosse related. Okay. It's the kind of place that always smells the same. See, I've got some questions here too, like what kind of place are we talking about? If I had to guess, I would say like a high school locker room. And the smell is bad. Next up, we got The Initial Insult by Mindy McGinnis. I have actually read her book, The Female of the Species, before, so this is the first author I have already read before. All right, so chapter 1 is narrated by Tress. Out here, something can turn to nothing real fast. Okay, I think this is my favorite one so far. Also, I feel like I should mention that the book is probably a retelling of the Cask of Amontillado because the town they live in is called Amontillado. I'm just assuming somebody is going to get bricked up at some point. Also, let's look at this cover again. It looks very brickish, don't we think? Somebody is getting bricked up in this book. Next up, we got our only paperback, X Marks the Spot by Gloria Chow. I have actually read her book, Rent a Boyfriend. So, another author I've already read before. Okay. Graduation is I want to lie down on the ground boring. Well, I was in the class of 2020, so I wouldn't know if high school graduations are typically boring. This one isn't really pulling me in very much. The narrator's kind of just stating a fact, or I guess an opinion. All right, next up we've got Midnights with You by Claire Osongo. I picked this one up because the title reminded me of Taylor Swift. Across these sleepless nights, I've memorized the view out my window. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And you know what, gang? I just realized I'm gonna have to lug all these books back upstairs when I'm done with this video. The things we do for YouTube. Next up, we've got And She Was by Jessica Verdi. Oh, this is fast. Time Slows. Don't really have anything to say about that, honestly. All right, next up we got The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. Warning, there may be spoilers for The Stolen Heir in this upcoming sentence. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna slap a spoiler warning on here, because this is 6 weeks before imprisonment. And it says, Oak jammed his hooves into velvet pants. Okay. I always forget that Oak has hooves instead of like feet. That was just a useful reminder for me, I guess. All right, next up we've got The 7 Torments of Amy and Craig by Dawn Zolitis. Also, I like exclusively get my books from the library. So if you've never heard of these books, that's why. Oh, okay. The 7 Torments of Amy and Craig, a love story. I'm sorry, I missed. Because the first sentence is, I know it says a love story on the cover of this book. This tells me literally nothing because it sure does say that. Right, next up we've got The Girls Are Never Gone by Sarah Glenn Marsh. Oh God, I have to sneeze. I'm filming this in one take. If I sneeze, I sneeze. Okay, Attachments Season 1, Episode 1. Okay, I'm not gonna count this as my first sentence because it's clearly stage directions. Are they called stage directions when you're not on a stage? I don't think they are, but I don't know what else they'd be called. So, intro music fades in, violins play a slow, eerie melody, and then Dare Chase voiceover. Imagine, you're on a vacant highway in the murky dark, gas tank on empty. Okay, I'm imagining it. I feel like this is one where you'd have to read multiple sentences to really get the scope of what Dare is saying here. But we're not doing that. We are speed dating. We got 7 Minutes in Candyland by Brian Wasson. Hey, we got a male author on the list. I don't read a lot of male authors, honestly. I like to think of myself as a jack of all treats, master of none. Okay, I like this one. This one has a fun first sentence. Guava and Grudges by Alexis Castellanos. This book has a recipe in the back. I love it when books have recipes in the back. Oh no. The dedication made me sad. It's dedicated to her cat who died. There are probably better ways to spend the first night of summer than breaking into a bakery. Okay, I'm intrigued. It sounds like, I was about to say it sounds like we're breaking into a bakery, but it's almost like that is exactly what was just said. You are doing so good at this YouTube thing, Christina. Next up, we got Slay by Brittany Morris. I picked this one up for the title because I say slay a lot. By day, I'm an honor student at Jefferson Academy. Okay, I'm assuming this is going to be followed up with by night, I'm some other thing. What I'm learning is that it's very hard to judge a book by its first sentence. All right, next up we've got Tell Me My Name by Amy Reed. Got this giant receipt in here. Ferns are older than dinosaurs. Okay, so I do know based on reading the synopsis that the main character of the book is named Fern. So she's probably going to be talking about herself, explaining why she's like a fern, I guess, or why her parents named her Fern. I'm intrigued, but not like super. And finally, the last book on my TBR, we have The Radius of Us by Marie Marcourt. Okay, so this is a Gretchen chapter. I was sitting on a bench in the place without a soul when it happened. Another one of my episodes. I feel like this could have been 2 sentences. I mean, I guess another one of my episodes isn't really a full phrase on its own, but like if I was writing this, I would have made it a sentence. Because the thing about fiction books is you don't always have to be 100% grammatically correct because you're supposed to be talking like a person. And people are not always 100% grammatically correct. But yeah, there it is. Me reading aloud the first sentences of, I think, 16 different books. I have to say, my favorite was still 7 Minutes in Candyland. Though Guava and Grudges was a close second. Thank you so much for watching. I know this video was very long and probably very tedious, so I really appreciate you for sticking it out till the end. You're the best. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.